There are several laws of nature that may fight against us in our quest to lose weight and keep it off. I call them cruel laws of nature. The first cruel law of nature is that we have a great hunger gauge. This was important for caveman because just like breathing, he had to have a good hunger gauge for him to be incentivized to go out all day and hunt for the rabbit or find some food to eat. If he didn't, he wouldn't survive. But God did not make us with a full gauge. I call it the defective full gauge because the only way we feel full is when we feel tight, we feel bloated, we've eaten all the food on our plate, and then we think we're full. So for cavemen, this was a blessing. For space age men, this is a curse. We move on to cruel law of nature number 2, and that is we can't tell the difference between hunger and thirst. So many times we think we're hungry, but in reality, we're really thirsty. So this is going to be helpful to you as you think sometimes when you're hungry, maybe just a glass of water would take away that feeling of hunger. Again, this was important for caveman. It's a curse for space age men. Now, the third cruel law of nature is this. It's easier to gain weight than it is to lose weight. And the corollary to that is easier to take it off than it is to keep it off. Now, that's just the way nature is. And so an example of that is this woman who's been eating sugary drinks all of her life. She's gradually put on this weight, and now she's walking around with this extra weight, and she doesn't know what to do about it. We have a saying for that. A moment on the lips, forever on the hips. So we have to keep this in mind. Now I look at the fourth cruel law of nature, and this is something that I call gaining weight as we grow older. We do, and because our metabolism slows down and fights against us. See, when we're young, we burn a lot of energy as we move around, we're growing, we're very, very active. As we get older, our metabolism goes on cruise control and we don't need as much. And so the example of that is a young teenager may look very thin, but every decade of life, she becomes thicker and thicker, even though she's eating the same amount, maybe exercising the same amount. It seems unfair, but it's not. We can use this to our advantage if we know what we're dealing with. The cruel laws of nature, we're going to fight them with you.